Happy Mounjaro Monday. This is my 77th shot of Mounjaro that I'm going to give myself live. I'm also going to answer any questions. If you have any questions about taking Mounjaro, about side effects or anything, Jeff and I just came back from our first cruise that we've ever been on. We joined the Downsize with Christopher and Lorraine and 54, I believe, other people who are on GLP-1s that were on this cruise together, and it was so much fun. So if anybody has any questions about the Downsize cruise, they're doing another one to the Bahamas June 4th through 8th of 2026. So if you have any FOMO, come and join us because it's going to be so much fun. I can say for myself, it was great meeting so many people who watch both Anchor Moments and the Downsized and getting to meet them in person. We shared a lot of laughs, a lot of hugs, and a lot of meals. The food was absolutely fantastic, and there was so much to do on the ship and off the ship in the ports that even though I felt like I was eating more calories while I was there, I was burning more calories too. So that's been my experience so far. Is anyone out there watching? And if you are, can you let us know? Right now, I'm using my parents' Wi-Fi because we are visiting them in their beautiful home in the country. And we could switch from their Wi-Fi to regular Verizon internet. It looked like we were having 4G instead of 5G bars, so we switched to Wi-Fi. Let me know if things look good.
Claudia says, "Hi there, sweet cruisers."
Hi, Claudia. Claudia, can you see me and hear me okay?
And let's see, Claudia says, "You look and sound great."
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, Claudia. That really does help. I'm not sure where I'm going to give myself my shot today. I'm going to
Probably here.
Yes, but I am going to give it here in a few minutes. I came and did my live a little bit early because the family's coming over for dinner tonight, and I really want to have dinner with them. So I'm here a little bit earlier than my normal time, and I am going to tell you I will also be here next Monday, and I'm going to have two guests on our show that have been on Anchor Moments before and are super friendly in our chat all the time. So wonderful in our Anchor Moments community. We're going to have Barb with...
Speaking of Barb,
Yes.
she sent an exclamation point.
Yay!
And
we're going to have Barb on next Monday, as well as Mindy McCamey on as well. And maybe even her cute husband might be on. You never know. Sometimes he can cook up something for us and show us how to cook something really healthy.
I thought I was the cute husband.
Oh, you are a cute husband too, Jeff. Absolutely. Hey, sometime I will have to have you do one of your No Chef Jeff episodes for us and make it something healthy.
Sure.
But not tonight. That's for sure. Now, I can tell you, I have not stepped on the scale yet. Jeff and I have been traveling in our van RV. We also have another YouTube channel called Anchor Moments RV. And I weigh myself before I leave. And then when I get back from our trips, I wait at least 2 days. So that way when you sit more when you're traveling, you're more likely to carry some water weight. So I give myself water weight. So I give myself at least 2 days before I step on the scale after any trip that I've been on. But I will be doing that when we come back in our van. But we have a very long way to drive when we finally do take off. But we're going to spend a week with family right now, and I'm really enjoying that.
And Mindy says, "We'll see if Shim is available."
Yeah, and think of if Shim would like to cook something for us. So we could totally do that on the live. And we could even do a special episode of just you and Shim and us. Yeah, cooking with Shim. Something special. So let him know that is an open invitation. And we can do that any day of the week.
And Claudia says, If I can
It's
read
hard.
it with my
Jeff
glasses.
is doing
Hold
this
on a minute.
on his
Hold
cell
on.
phone instead of we usually do it on our
Yay.
computer.
It'll be great to see these people join you.
Yeah.
And yes, no, Chef Jeff, we're here for it.
All right. Yeah, that'll be so fun. So, I was going to say, oh, and next Monday, when we do the live with Mindy and Barb, we'll be sharing some pictures too. Mindy's already given me some of her pictures. I'm still waiting on some pictures from Barb, but I have a crazy cute picture of Barb and Mindy. I'll probably be posting that on our Anchor Moments website, on our on the post section of our YouTube channel. So that way you can see the picture. They're so stinking cute. This particular picture is really pretty awesome. And there's a great story behind it too that we'll tell you about next Monday, because there was some special things that the celebrity cruise did for our friend Barb. And we were so glad she was able to join us. Okay. There was something I was going to say, and I can't
Frankly,
remember.
Michelle
Oh, yeah.
says, "Hi all, glad you had a great time."
We did. Thank you, frankly, Michelle. And Jeff, did you want to go on a cruise?
I did not.
How many years did you tell me no? And how many years did I ask you?
Only 35 years.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe
35
36.
years.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Before we were married?
Before we were married, because we could have done a cruise on our honeymoon, and he was like, no, he never wanted to cruise. But oh my gosh, did you have fun, Jeff?
I did have fun.
He did. He was so
I'm still going
relaxed.
through withdrawal though.
Yes. He was so relaxed by the fourth day. I almost didn't recognize him. He was so mellow and full of bliss. And I don't think there was 1 ounce of worry in him. It was so unusual.
Thanks, dear.
His nickname has always been Mr. Safety in our house. Jeff can see danger before it happens, so he's always on top of things. But he was, by the fourth day, he was so chill that when we left on the fifth day, he has had some major withdrawals. We do have a playlist of being on the Downsize cruise, and I did a little video each day. And whenever we were on port, we would upload them. And on the last day, when we got off the ship, I did have a stay at a hotel because I didn't want Jeff to be worried that we'd be late to the airport. What if the ship doesn't arrive on time and we miss our flight? I didn't want him worried. I wanted him to just totally relax. And I'm telling you, by the fourth day, he was crazy chill.
You also said you wanted to be the last one off the ship.
Oh, I did.
And I was thinking, you're going to squeeze every little drop of fun off of this one, but that can make you late, Gina.
Yeah, and we could have been late to a plane, but we weren't. We spent the night at a hotel, and
we were not late.
We were not late. And as we were laying in bed on our pillows, Jeff had the most food noise I think that he has ever had before. He usually doesn't get a ton of food noise like I used to get before I was on Mounjaro. So when you watch this and listen to him, that used to be me on a daily basis. I would have that much food noise.
And I am not on Mounjaro.
And Jeff's not on Mounjaro. He really hasn't battled obesity until he got in his 50s. He used to be super thin, and he could eat a ton of food and not gain an ounce. It used to drive me crazy. But for me,
that's what did it.
Yeah. There you go. But for me, I have battled obesity most of my adult life. Not as a kid, but definitely most of my adult life. And so I've really struggled with food noise where I'm thinking about food all the time. Even while eating food, I'd be thinking about the next food that I might be eating. And that is one of the best side effects of Mounjaro for me, is that it really quiets that food noise, and it just makes it so much easier for me to eat more healthy and to lose weight. And I am down before I left for the cruise, I was down 42 pounds on Mounjaro, and I'm down 50 pounds from my highest weight, which was just a few years ago. If you look at some of the, I had this Anchor Moments YouTube channel before I had type 2 diabetes and before I started taking Mounjaro. So you can see a lot of before pictures because you'd be seeing a lot of before videos of me at my highest weight. And I am down 50 pounds from when I first started this YouTube channel.
By the way, Journey of Life says, hello, everyone.
Hi, Journey of Life. So anyway, oh, another thing that happened on the cruise is the Durhams had a big conference room that they had reserved every day of the trip. And they would do different things in that conference room. There was a trivia contest, which Mayor Mindy won first place on. They also
we were late getting to that.
I know.
We missed it. We were doing something else. I don't remember
We were uploading a video.
Oh, yes.
And we were pulling away from port.
So it was going slower.
Yeah. So by the time when we got down there, the trivia was over and Mindy was holding the big trophy.
Mindy still would have won.
She still would have won. Oh, yeah.
The questions that she won on, we didn't know the answers to. So that's
Mindy knows her stuff.
It would have been fun, but it was fine.
Yeah. But another thing we did in that big conference room is they did one live, which was really fun. And on that live, we got to be on it for a smidge. They called us from the audience and they did the live in front of all of us. And they also, on the second day of the cruise, they did a taping and they had us as special guests. And so we were on, gosh, it looks like when you see their thumbnail, it looks like it's a 2.5 hour show, but it's only a 1.5 hour show. I don't know if YouTube fixed that or not.
You know what?
It looks like it's 2.5 hours, but it's 1.5 hours.
Maybe because of the time difference.
Oh, that might have been part of it. And it just messed it up.
But really, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, because that's happened with our phones too, with stuff.
It thinks it's long.
It thinks it's longer because it switches the time zone and then it thinks it's 2.5 when it's 1.5.
And frankly, Michelle says.
But it was a lot of fun.
I watched your downsized dish.
Oh, yay! What'd you think? I will note to self. If I'm ever on someone else's talk show again, I'm not going to wear print pants. I'll wear a solid dark color pants.
Cute. They were fine.
It did make my legs look even extra big, though they are bigger. I do have lipedema in my legs, but I was like, wow, watching it later, I was like, oh goodness, I should have wore solid colored pants, but oh well.
By the way, Vanessa says,
hi, Vanessa.
It was so nice to meet you and everyone. Heart, smile, heart.
Oh, it was so fun meeting Vanessa too. Vanessa out.
And she didn't say anything about your flower print.
My flower print pants. Yeah. And I remember meeting Vanessa and we were in the elevator together and she said, oh my gosh, it's just so fun seeing you in person. You're so big in person. I'm used to seeing you this big on my phone.
Oh, health at any cost, Barb says. Vanessa.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Vanessa is a riot. Vanessa, we really hope you go on the cruise with us next year. We had so much fun with you. Seriously, Christopher mentioned.
Wait, let me interrupt for a second. In case the camera seems to move around a bunch, it's because we got all these stinking mosquitoes around it. No, I don't know if they're mosquitoes or other little bugs flying.
Yeah, we're in the Midwest now.
It's the Midwest.
There's plenty of mosquitoes, and I got a cornfield behind me. But so pretty here. Very, very lush and green. And my hair is extra fuzzy because the humidity is like you could cut the air with a knife. It is so thick with humidity here right now.
Oh, by the way, frankly, Michelle says, it was great. I will forever remember your nugget. How many 80-year-olds are here that don't fit in this chair? Right.
Yeah. Actually, or
are there that don't fit in this chair? Yes.
My dad had mentioned that. We visited my dad in Georgia And he's been on a Mounjaro journey, and he is a super responder. His first 5 months, he lost 50 pounds. And I think total, he's down 70 some pounds, and he's in maintenance. He looks great. He doesn't need to lose an ounce more. And he told me what really struck him is, let's see, I'm going to be 59. He is just turned 79. So he's getting really close to 80. And he told me, he said, Gina, and my dad's battled obesity since he was a kid. And he said, how many people are extremely obese who are 80 years or older
and still around?
And he's getting really close to 80, and he wanted to be sure that he's still around. And now he's just as thin as can be. I worry about him that he's not eating enough, but he's happy, and his doctors are really happy with all of his lab results and stuff. So I just wish him a lot of continued good health.
By the way, Pamela, now I'm going to see if this is
Pamanelli?
Yes, thank you. She says,
Hi,
hello,
Pam.
glad you had a great time on the cruise.
Oh, thanks. I hope you can join us next year, Pam. We'd love to have you.
And Tony Johnson says,
hi, Tony.
Hello from Middle Tennessee.
Oh, someday we're going to go back to Tennessee, and I would love to meet you, Tony. And I would love to meet Cindy, Taz the Bulldog's mom, too, who just moved to Tennessee not too long ago.
You know what, Tennessee?
Yes.
The same thing, Arkansas. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. That was
the dad joke.
Kid joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a blast being on the Downsized, and it was being in the Downsized in front of a live studio audience where you could hear the laughter, because there was probably at least 40 people in the room during our taping. And it was fun being able to tell the stories, and Jeff had some funny remarks here and there. And when he'd do a funny remark, it'd be just great hearing the crowd roar. So that was really, really fun. It was very special. And I think that particular interview, it was a lot of the best of anchor moments, and I shared a lot of the best moments of my journey so far.
Well, Vanessa says, I'm booking it tomorrow. Hope
Yay!
to see you all next year. Imagine how thin we'll be by then.
Exactly.
And she also says, hi, Barb.
Oh, we had so much fun with Barb and Mindy. Oh, my goodness. And Jaylene and Adriana. One thing that really struck me is how many people that are in our viewers of Anchor Moments that came on the ship that are nurses. There were retired nurse practitioners. There were Adriana was I think still is an operation room nurse, and she let me know when I tell my story about before having the hysterectomy, how important it is to let your surgeon of any surgery you had, to let your surgeon know that you're taking Mounjaro or any GLP-1, because it makes your stomach emptying takes a lot slower. And so you might need to take your shot not the week of your surgery, and they'll let you know if they want you to have 1 week off, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, however many weeks that they want you not to take your shot, to be sure that your stomach is empty before your surgery.
Speaking of having your stomach empty, I think I swallowed a bug.
Oh no.
Anyway, so if I cough, that's why. Okay. Oh, by the way, and
like this.
Frankly, Michelle said, I am booked for cruise, so we'll meet all of you then, unless you make it to Florida.
Oh, that'll be wonderful. And it's going to be June 4th through 8th of 2026. It's going to be on the Royal Caribbean this time, and we're going to go to their private island as well as to Nassau. So it's going to be a really, really fun. And I want to tell you, everybody who came, Christopher said during the live that it was like summer camp with the nicest people ever. And that's really what it reminded me of, like an adult summer camp. And they, at dinner time, they asked us each meal that we shared together to sit by somebody new. And we really did. And so we moved around and we sat at different tables each
So got to meet
time.
a
And
lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people.
Speaking of a lot of
And
people,
everybody was so kind.
Tony Johnson says, how many were on your GLP-1 cruise?
There was 54 people who watched the downsized, and not all of them had met me before. Some people, they'd only seen the downsized, but there was a bunch of us that of the Anchor Moments community that were part of Anchor Moments and watched the downsized, like me. I've been watching the downsized for a year as well.
Oh, and Tony Johnson also says, we've been on the Celebrity Reflection 3 times already.
Wow, isn't that a great ship? Oh my gosh. And Tony, you will really laugh hard when you watch the short of Jeff the night that we came home from the cruise, and because he really talks about the different things.
Well, don't give it away.
I won't give it away, but oh my gosh, I laughed so hard. I was
Yes, you did.
crying. I was crying. Tears were rolling down my face because he was so funny. I've never heard Jeff with so much food noise and his takeaways about the chip. And it really cracked me up because before we left, he kept saying, "You're doing everything with this cruise. I'm not booking the hotel. I'm not doing anything. You've got to do all the planning. And if something happens and we can't go, I'm okay with that." Because he really did not want to cruise. He was only going because I promised him that if he went and he didn't like it, I'd never nag him about it again. I'd never ask him again. I would go on more cruises because I knew I'd love it. But I would go with like girlfriends, but I would never ask him again. And did you like it, Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah. And they did ask him during the downsized, when the downsized did a live on the cruise ship, they asked Jeff and put him on the spot. Are you going to go with us next year?
And I said yes.
And he said yes.
So they got evidence.
They got evidence. So us and oh gosh.
What? Who?
Simply Taisha.
Okay.
Taisha was number one. We were right behind her signing up. And so Taisha was the first one to sign up, and we were number 2 to sign up for next year. So we are
Now,
totally
Claudia
going.
Also says, do you think you will ever cruise out of Los Angeles to the Mexican Riviera sometime? Really great deals on Carnival cruises.
Oh, okay. We might. And we'll have to let you know, Claudia, and maybe we can do a cruise out of California. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Actually, Jeff and I were talking about maybe doing a river cruise in Europe or a Mediterranean cruise. Jeff can speak 5 languages. He was going to be a high school German teacher before he changed his mind, and then he went for elementary education. But he speaks really well in German and in French, and not too bad in Spanish.
And then English. That's foraging.
English, and then conversational Samoan. He learned when he was in seminary to be a Catholic priest.
Yes.
Which he did not become a Catholic priest.
Right. Health at any cost, Barb says to Claudia, the Durhams are talking about a West Coast cruise. I don't know if they would want Carnival, however. This ship had a handful of kids. Apparently, Carnival has a zillion of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the Celebrity Reflection doesn't have a water slide and doesn't have go-karts. It's really a cruise ship that really caters to adults. It was lovely though, and the shows were fun. There was so much to do.
But
right. I mean, we're retired school teachers. We love kids, but sometimes when you're on your own personal vacation, it's nice going someplace where you don't hear any crying.
Health at any cost, Barb also says, but I want to go to Mexico in the worst way. I adore Mexico.
Oh, well, we'll have to do it sometime, Barb. That would be great. I'd like to do a Cabo one. I think that would be fun. A Cabo cruise.
Oh, a Cabo one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Tony Johnson says, I can't wait to watch the short with Jeff.
Seriously, you will love it. It's hysterical. I thought it was so funny. So funny. He just totally cracked me up on that one. And it's real easy to find because I have all of the all of the videos taken from the cruise and that one immediately after on a playlist. And Jeff's going to do another one too, where he took some videos that he didn't upload yet. He probably will make one where it has some of the best pictures and little video clips together, kind of a summary of the cruise experience, because we're really hoping more of you go. It was really neat to be able to see our subscribers give hugs, share laughs, share meals. It was just
Speaking of
a lot of
meals,
fun.
Vanessa says, how many calories if you eat a bug? I don't know.
I think they're high in protein.
They are high in protein. In fact, I watched a thing on a little clip from Nova last night.
Oh, really?
And they were saying how much more effort it takes to grow 1 pound of beef versus
Eating a
how
pound of
easy
bugs?
it is to grow insect protein.
Wow.
And
I can tell you, driving through the Midwest, there's a lot of insect protein on our windshield.
I'm not going to go out and lick it, though. I'll tell you.
Oh.
And let's see. Frankly, Michelle says, hey, Barb, you will like Cozumel. I think that's Cozumel is the name of the place.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of
right.
cruise ships that go there from California, which would be a lot closer for us, too. Because we live in Arizona, so it's like a 6-hour drive, 6 to 8 hours. Not bad.
And let's see. And Barb says, depends on if you are swatting the bug first. Calories in, calories out.
That's
right, because it does take some calories to swat them away.
Yeah, Jeff's burning extra calories, helping me out to not have me get bit up by mosquitoes while we tape this.
I'm attracting them with my humor. And health at any cost. I worked in Mexico as a midwife for a while on the border.
Wow. Barb's had such an interesting life. Her stories have stories and they're fantastic. And you can catch some of them. You can read because she's an incredible writer, and she has a website, healthatanycost.com, and you can check out a lot of that. She's currently working on writing a book, and I look forward to reading it for sure.
And Tony Johnson says, yes, many more kids on Carnival. No kids on Virgin Cruise Lines.
Oh, yeah, they even advertised that. Where the Celebrity Reflection, they did have activities for kids where the kids could go and there was special things that they could do. But there wasn't a lot of kids because, like I say, they really cater more to adults.
Tony Johnson says, we are avid cruisers. 35 and counting. Just got back from Alaska on a cruise. Beautiful weather, and we saw lots of whales, bears, and eagles. Now, were the bears and eagles also swimming? Because I could see the whales in the water, but
they're getting off at ports.
They're getting off.
But how fun! Actually, I'd really like to do an Alaskan cruise, Jeff. I think that would be really neat. My parents, they take each grandkid on a special vacation when they turn 16. And our son, Jacob, is almost the same age as our nephew, Nicholas. They're like 9 months apart. So they took Jacob and Nicholas on an Alaskan cruise for their 16th birthday. And they had so much fun. They zip lined, they kayaked. They played with little husky puppies.
Wow.
They did all kinds of fun stuff. And I'd like to do an Alaskan cruise with Jeff too. And on our other YouTube channel, Anchor Moments RV, I really want to hit all 48 states. But Alaska and Hawaii, I'd like to do those as a cruise. So then I can do something in all 50 states.
Barb says, Tony, how wondrous. If I went to Alaska, it would be in June. I crave 24-hour days. Oh, that would be something else, huh?
Yeah, but cool days.
Right.
We're from Arizona, and the summers are so hot. Even sitting out here where it's been a really warm day, it's not that bad. Whereas in Arizona right now, it's over 110, and that's hot. It's like putting your head in an oven.
We would not be
It's a dry
outside
heat,
taping
but yeah, we
in
would not be
Arizona.
outside taping
In
for
Chandler,
sure.
anyway.
For sure. Hey, can I share something personal real quick?
Yeah.
And it
Are you
comes
asking
with
me?
a tip. Yeah.
What?
And to everybody out
Let's
there.
hear it.
Years ago, probably a dozen years before Jeff's mom passed away, she started looking around her house and noticed that she had a lot of things that she wasn't using anymore that were really nice and special. And she thought, instead of waiting until I die and then everybody can divide up, the family can divide up, some of the best things that were in the house, I'm going to start giving some of them away while I'm still alive. And she had given us, we always had Easter at our house. Jeff's one of 6 kids, and and Jeff's mom had leukemia for 20 years before she passed. And once she got leukemia, instead of having all the holidays at Jeff's mom's house, the brothers and sisters took holidays. And so our holiday was Easter, because a lot of important things happen in our life at Easter time, including both of our kids were born within days of Easter, and we got married at Easter time. We even shared our first kiss on the eve of Easter. So Easter was our holiday where all the relatives would come to our house. And she gave us this beautiful dish that's a china dish that has bunny rabbits running around the outside circle, and it has this little dish at the top attached to it. And it was Jeff's great grandfather's. His family would make his baby cereal in it, and would feed him his baby cereal from it.
Oh, wow.
And we use it to put jelly beans in.
I only remember the jelly beans.
Yeah.
But,
well, that's what your mom had told me.
Right, because then, when you get a spoonful of the cereal or something like that, and you get it against the edge, kind of wipe it off, and then you could, feed the baby.
There you go. And it's such a little dish on the top.
Yeah.
So, the baby's not going to need a lot of baby food.
Right.
But it was really special. It's a very special, and it's good china. I can't imagine feeding our baby out of good china. So I didn't use it for baby food, but I did. I have a china cabinet with glass so you can see it all the time. And then at Easter, I take it out and I put jelly beans on it. And so for, at least 12 to 15 years before she passed, she got to see me use it. And so she'd come over to our house at Easter time, and she'd see that we had the jelly beans in it. And then she also gave us...
it also fixed that other occasion that one Easter, my dad arrived and said, I want some jelly beans. And we didn't have any jelly beans.
Yeah. He was so disappointed. I had no idea that was his favorite Easter candy. And he gave up sugar for Lent, and he was all excited about jelly beans. And we didn't have,
Sorry,
it was probably before we had we got that bunny dish.
Yes.
Because that was earlier on in our marriage. I think one of the first times they came over, and I had other Easter candies, but I didn't have jelly beans. But I learned that lesson. Yeah. So then every year after that, I always had jelly beans, and I put the jelly beans in that special dish. And then she also had a bunch of really nice glass crystal bowls that you could put like potato salad and stuff like that in. And she gave me one, and she gave some of your other siblings a beautiful crystal dish. And so I'd take that out at Easter time too, and we'd put potato chips in it. So when people would come in, and she got to enjoy watching us enjoy it. Well, I got a nice surprise visiting my mom yesterday and coming back to her house. She noticed she wasn't wearing, she really doesn't wear as much jewelry as she used to. And she has some really nice jewelry. And so she gave each of us a special piece of jewelry. And so I'm wearing it. It's on a gold chain, and it's tanzanite, and then tanzanite earrings on real gold hoops. And I just thought that was so special. And she gave one to my sister-in-law, Tootie, and to my niece and my daughter. We're each going to have a beautiful piece of real gold, very special jewelry. And she noticed that she just really she doesn't wear a lot of jewelry anymore. And I just thought that was so sweet. And so while she has many, many, many years, hopefully left before she meets Jesus, she's going to get to enjoy seeing us enjoy her jewelry and some of her fancy jewelry. So I thought that was special. And the reason I'm sharing this is that's really something to think about. And it really reminded me of when Marilyn did that. And it was so fun being able to use these things. And she's with me, and she could tell me the story of, yeah, this was my Jeff's great grandfather's baby dish, and so I get to hear some of the stories with it. And so it's just something to put out there that we're never guaranteed. We never know when our last day is going to be. It's a surprise when our last day is going to be, but it's kind of nice if you have something special to be able to give it to a loved one while there's, and you can watch them enjoy it. So I'm going to actually think about that when I go home and see if there's something special. Like I did do one thing when my daughter was in labor. We went to the hospital, and I had a solid gold chain with a little heart on it that said Mom. And Jeff gave it to me on my very first Mother's Day after my daughter was born. And so I got to give that to her in the hospital. Yes, it was a surprise. You 100% chose that. Right. And it was a surprise on my first Mother's Day. And every time I see my daughter wearing that necklace and enjoying it, it just brings such joy to my heart. And I'm so glad I didn't wait for her to inherit it when I die. I get to watch her enjoy it while I'm still alive, and share those mutual things together. So anyway, I know that doesn't have anything to do with Mounjaro, but it's part of sharing my life with you guys while on this journey.
I want to tell you, I think that is all the comments.
Is that all the comments and questions? And I should do my shot so I don't forget.
Right, that would be good. I'm just double checking to see if I missed any.
I think I'm going to give my shot in my leg today.
Okay.
I'm just going to roll up my pants here. You can see my chubby lipedema legs here. That is the problem with it. The sad thing about lipedema is
it lipedema?
Or lipedema. I'm sorry, what do I call it? Lipedema?
I don't know.
I don't know. Lipedema is it's a type of fat that doesn't. It's really hard to get rid of. It doesn't really go away, and it can be painful because it can get inflamed. But being on Mounjaro has really helped me. It's helped take away that inflammation, so it doesn't hurt as much for me, which is really great. And I'm losing other fat that's not lipedema fat, but at least I'm getting other fat off as well. But anyway, here we go.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna read another comment here from Patty's Purse.
Oh, hi, Patty's Purse.
Getting on late, but so happy that Jeff loved it, and you guys will be cruising again. Hi, Gina and Jeff.
Hi. Yep, we plan on doing a lot of cruises now that he knows how much fun they are. We'll be going on quite a few, I think.
Oh, and Kirsten's memory says, hi, Gina.
Oh, hi, Kirsten. And Kirsten also went on the cruise with us. And she is a travel agent as well. Okay, I'm going to, and you can see the bubble that goes back and forth with the liquid. So we know right now it's in there. I'm going to turn to unlock. And there are 3 places you can give yourself your Mounjaro shot, or Zepbound. You can give it on your legs, on your thighs, upper thigh. You can give it on your upper arm, or on your stomach.
I accidentally turned the camera off for a second.
Oh, oops.
We're still here.
Yep. All right. You can show my little chubby thigh there. Yeah. Want to make sure I'm not wiggly ziggly.
And you already used your wipe.
I already used my wipe, so it's nice and clean. All right, ready. And
little click and done. I didn't see you scream, so it must have been good.
Yeah, it didn't hurt at all.
Didn't hurt at all.
And I don't see a dot, but I don't see any drips. Well, maybe there is a dot in the center there. No drips. And I know it really went in because see, there's no bubble going around. Instead, there's a syringe there. One of my viewers commented that after they gave themselves their first shot and realized, oh my gosh, I didn't feel it. Didn't feel it at all. Did the medicine really go in? They actually broke the shot and pulled it all apart to look, and there was no medicine in there because they couldn't believe that it really went in. It's like magic. Where did it go? I don't know. It's it should be right inside me.
Your leg.
Yep. Oh, I do have a little red dot right now, but just a little red dot. It doesn't hurt. And no medicine came out. So it's all good.
By the way, we have another comment from Sandy Murphy.
Hi, Sandy Murphy.
She says, first time watching you guys live.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for all you do and all the suggestions you give. I loved your interview on the downsized.
Oh, thank you. It was so much fun sharing all of our favorite stories. Yeah.
And just double check and see I didn't miss anybody.
Any other comments?
I think that's it. If I missed you and Gina sees it in the comments, she'll be able to reply back to you.
And if you watch this on replay, because there will be some people that'll go on our normal time. We usually go 7:00 Central on Mondays, which is 8:00 Eastern, 5:00 in Arizona, and I believe 5:00 right now on the west coast of the United States. And 5:00 is like 1 a.m, I think, in the UK. I've got a lot of UK friends too. So that's why I like we do have a book club, and we've been doing our weight loss book club. The current book is Salt, Sugar, Fat. And I do that live on Mondays, or not Mondays, on Sundays. And I usually do that at 1:00 Arizona time, which is 3:00 Central, 4:00 Eastern, and I think 9:00 in the UK. So our UK friends can be a part of our book club. And so I do it early on those days, on Sundays.
Do you switch when the rest of the country goes to turn off their daylight saving time?
I try to make it so everybody else stays the same, and then I just switch the time for us.
Okay.
So yeah, I try to make, but every now and again, when traveling, it's hard to be super consistent. Right. And Tony, who's watching us now, Tony, I love you. Tony actually reads every chapter with us. And when we were at the airport, on Saturday, we ended up not being able to make our connection. So we spent another night in Fort Lauderdale and had to take a flight on Sunday. And when we were in the airport, I was like, oh no, Jeff, we're going to be in the air when I'm supposed to be doing our book club. And I told everybody last week I had to cancel because of where we were traveling. There was absolutely no internet. There was no way to do it. And I said, but I promise you, we're going to do chapter 5 next Sunday at our normal time, and really looking forward to it because I've already read the chapter. And so I was thinking, oh, I know Tony will have read that chapter and she's going to be all ready to share and to discuss. I don't want to disappoint her. And so we did a quick 7-minute where I gave a synopsis in that 7 minutes
and shared what it after that.
Yeah, and then Jeff uploaded it while we were sitting on the plane ready for takeoff.
Yeah, hoping it was going to get done.
Hoping that it would get done before we had to put our phones on airplane mode. But it did. It got done just in time. And so all the discussion we're doing in the comments.
We have a comment from Dawn Kiefer.
Hi, Dawn.
Gina, honey, please don't use the inside of the thigh. Too many possible vessels there, really? So that's not recommended. Outside aspect of the thigh is a recommended area on the thigh.
Okay, so I was probably more on the inside, so more up here on the top.
Maybe on the outside.
Oh, on this
inside.
Side.
This would be outside.
So more this way. On this side? More this way? And I have so much thighs. My thighs have thighs. So I was hoping this was still considered upper, but it was kind of a little over like this I've got plenty of chunk. I did talk to my pharmacist about when I give it to myself on my arm. Inside, outside. So more this way. Okay. I'll do more this way next time.
I'm assuming. And Dawn, if I'm incorrect, you can correct me here.
Yeah. But they show that when they show the picture on the Mounjaro, it's kind of like right here, but I still have muscle on the top, but here is full of fat and my outside's full of fat, so I could do one of those spots. I had talked to my pharmacist when I was giving it to myself on my arm. My fat on my arm really hangs down. It's really more this way. And someone was worried and thought it should be more right here. But right here, I have a lot of muscle in my arm with all the fat. And right here is more muscly for me. And so I asked my pharmacist, is it okay that I give it to myself right here? Because this is where all my fat is. And my pharmacist said, absolutely, that this is fine. But she did say that as I lose weight, if I lose a ton of weight on my arms and I don't have fat there and it's just skin, then I should concentrate wherever my fat is. So maybe do more on my thighs or more on my stomach. But you want to put it into your fat. You don't want to put it into your muscle.
And there was a typo there. I'm not sure if I read it correctly or not, but there's the correction. And let's see, we have one more comment here. Let me just check. Tony commented, so shocking how much sugar is in a can of soda.
Yeah.
9 teaspoons.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
Can you
sugar.
imagine just having a spoon and putting 9 teaspoons,
9 teaspoons
into any drink?
In a can.
Oh,
shoot, you could drink a few cans because a can just has 12 ounces in it.
And Tony says, I did not know that about the thigh either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But if you do look in the materials that come with your shot, it shows like a big oval on the top of your thigh and on your arms and on your stomach, except for you're supposed to give yourself 2 inches around your belly button that you don't do it because you're more fibrous there from when you've had your umbilical cord as a baby, and you're more fibrous there, and you're supposed to be putting it in your fat. So they want it a little bit away from your
Now, you're
belly
not a
button.
doctor.
Nope.
But you can always ask your
right. Always
pharmacist
ask your doctor
and
or your
doctor.
pharmacist. Yeah.
Tony Johnson says, I'm finally down 20 pounds.
Yay! Congratulations, Tony. That's great.
Up. Let me see. And comments.
Yeah, if anyone has any wins, let us know your wins because we like sharing wins here too.
And Don Kiefer said, spot on, Jeff. So yeah.
Yay.
Inside, outside.
Okay, so I'll shoot more for my outside this next time that I do my thighs. I'll take that into consideration. Thank you very much. Oh, and that was
Franklin Michelle says, great job, Tony.
Yeah. And that was one of the surprises of so many people that I met on the cruise ship that were part of the Downsize community and the Anchor Moments community. So many of them were nurses. And I thought that was really neat. I met retired nurse practitioners and an operation room nurse. So many people in the medical community that, and Danielle. Donnell. He's also he does something medical. I don't know if he's a doctor or a radio tech or something, but he's from the medical community as well. When I was chatting with him.
Vanessa says, congrats, Tony.
Yeah, congrats on the 20 pounds. That's gotta feel good.
And Sandy Murphy says, started my Zep-bound journey in February 2025. I am down 50 pounds today.
Wow, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Doesn't that feel good?
Yay. If we were on our computer, imagine there's confetti's coming out, but we're doing.
And let's see. And I think that's it now.
Okay, we're all caught up. So next week, I think we're going to be on at a regular time. If we need to do it a little bit earlier, we'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure we'll be our regular time, which will be 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Something like that. And we'll have Mindy and Barb, and we'll have a lot of pictures, and I'll have Jeff use his computers for it. So that way we can put the a lot of pictures and
trying to tap the right spot with my finger on my little phone screen.
Right.
Don Kiefer says, so glad you didn't shy away from the postmenopausal bleeding discussion on the ship interview.
Thank you.
Important to share.
It really is.
We didn't know.
Nope. We didn't know. And seriously, if I wouldn't have called my mother just to talk to her about how Jeff was doing after his surgery, I still wouldn't have had my surgery yet. And the doctor told me, my oncologist told me after he put my gynecologist, after he took all my stuff out of my insides, he said, yeah, it was precancerous, but it was the high grade precancerous and you had plenty of it. He told me if I would have sat on it for a year before having my hysterectomy, I would have had full blown cancer. And so I was very lucky that we took care of it immediately. And I wouldn't have if my mom wouldn't have told me that 13 months after my last period, already had the 12 months, that 13th month, even a drop of blood, a tiny drop of blood, you got to run to the doctor right away and get checked.
Now,
that
you
could be a
brought
sign
that
of
up
cancer.
during the interview because it was related to maybe your ovaries being woken up when you started taking Mounjaro.
Yeah, and I know that Mounjaro had woken up my ovaries because for probably at least a solid 7 years, I had night sweats. I had hot flashes, and I'd get them all the time. But I never did anything for them because I didn't think there was anything I could do. It was just something you had to live through. I had fans all over the house that I could put on me. I put my head in the refrigerator. I was used to having hot flashes, hated them, but I was used to it. And when I started taking Mounjaro, my hot flashes went away.
Wow.
And 17 days later, all of a sudden, I had a little bit of a period. And then I had a period again the following month, in between going to doctors and finding out if I needed to have a hysterectomy or not. So that was...
it was related, even though in the interview it didn't necessarily seem related.
But it was the answer about side effects and constipation. And I was taking fiber gummies, and I had to have an ultrasound because of my postmenopausal bleeding.
And then they asked you,
in the ultrasound,
do you ever poop?
Yeah, they said, do you ever poop? Oh my gosh, you are so backed up.
Okay.
And my doctor actually laughed at me, like, do you ever poop? And then I told her, well, I take fiber gummies. And she said, how many fiber gummies are you taking a day? And I said, oh, I don't know. They're in the kitchen. When I walk by the kitchen, I take a couple. I don't know, 7 or 8. She was like, don't you read the jar? You're supposed to have more than 2 fiber. You're supposed to have 2 fiber gummies in a day, and you're supposed to drink a bunch of water with them. Otherwise, it can do the opposite and back you up. And I was backed up big time.
Let's not go there right now. Frankly, Michelle says, I have a friend with the postmenopausal bleeding. She did not know and is now in radiation.
Yeah. So it
really
women
important.
don't talk about their periods. We don't, especially once we don't have babies anymore and we're done being out of the baby age. We stop talking about it. We'll talk about our hot flashes, and that's it. But there's a lot more to menopause than just hot flashes. So I do have a playlist, and I'm willing now to open up and share those embarrassing things. Sorry, guys. You can go la 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 whenever I bring it up.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Guys who care about the women in their lives will be listening, and they will also
maybe
take
save
the opportunity.
their wife's life or their sister, their mom's. Yeah, because you need to know that. All right, everybody. Family's coming over right now so we can have dinner. So I need to get going. Hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day. Bye-bye.